Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is Daily Truth with Dr. Ruth, Christ-centered coach and family systems specialist. How are you doing this morning, great leader? How are you? Yes, again, it is a great morning because you and I are alive. We are in the land of the living. We have our health, we have our strength. We're able to get up out of our beds, get into our bathrooms, and take care of our personal hygienes. So many things that people take for granted these days. But we are thanking God. We have an attitude of gratitude that we are here again today to say hello and thank God for this great day that we get to make a difference in the world. And so we've been talking about body talk communication, and we've been discussing how nonverbal cues is the most significant part of communication. What your body is saying, what signals your face is sending. You can say, I love you with a smile, or you can say, I love you looking like this. And which one do you believe someone is going to believe? Well, today we'll be discussing particularly that conflict is inevitable. It's inevitable in the home. It's inevitable, tied tongue this morning. It's inevitable in the workplace. It's inevitable in your places of worship. It does not matter where you go because people are all different with all different mindsets from different backgrounds, different belief systems. There will be conflict, but conflict does not have to be the end of the world. It does not have to end up being a great big explosion. Conflict can simply be a difference of opinion, and you finding a way as a great leader to deal with those differences. Remember, we spoke about in our last episode how great leaders value good communication. And it is true. You must value the ability to be able to give and receive information, to be able to understand as well as to be understood. And so, with that in mind, there are a few things that we have to consider when we're dealing with conflict. We have to know that the best tool for dealing with conflict is knowing and being acquainted with our own temperament and personalities. Too often, people are faced with situations that rile their nerves because they don't understand what their triggers are. But when you have become acquainted with yourself as a person, you know just how far you can be pushed. I love the old song by Kenny Rogers. You got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them, know when to walk away when the dealing's done. Sometimes you just have to walk away and come back after you've cooled down. But I won't go too far into that. I'll save that for another episode. Let's read our daily truth scripture for today, which is found in Psalm 139, verse 14. Psalm 139, verse 14. And of course, for the sake of time, I will read that from two different translations. All right, so Psalm 39, 139, verse 14. I will give thanks and praise to you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Wonderful are your works, and my soul knows it very well. And again, another translation within the context, just for the sake of understanding this verse, Psalms 139, verse 14. I'll start at verse 13 and read through 15. You formed me in my innermost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I will praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Marvelous are your works, and I know this very well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was made in secret, when I was woven together in the depths of the earth. One of the things we see here in this particular verse is your soul. The soul talks about the heart of your mind, your thought processes, your will to do, your emotions, and how you operate within the personality that you've been given or the personality that you have. This is why one of the number one things for dealing with conflict is knowing who you are and knowing your own temperament. You'll know how to engage with a person because you've already anticipated their response, and you'll know how you're able to handle that. You'll know whether you can engage with someone based upon how you're feeling that morning. Maybe they're saying something that you already know is a trigger for you, and maybe your morning didn't start off so well. Maybe you had a stomach ache or headache or something like that, and you'll know, hey, this is not a conversation I need to have, and you can intelligently and calmly tell the person, hey, can we table this and come back for another time? It's not the best time to talk. Remember, the number one thing for dealing with conflict, as we saw in Psalms 139, verse 14, is knowing yourself, knowing how you were formed, knowing how God made you, knowing your background, how your parents and nature and nurture played a great part in who you are today. So let's look at two of the 5 smooth stone strategies that we observed in Psalm 139, verse 14. First of all, both you and the person or people that you're in conflict with are different. You process information differently and you receive information differently. And so therefore, whatever the thing is that you disagree about or in conflict about, you will respond to those things differently. Again, that's why you have to know who you are and how you give and receive information so you'll know whether or not that's something that you need to wait to discuss at another time. Number 2, and the last that we're going to discuss on today's episode of Conflict is Inevitable, is being fully acquainted with your own temperament and triggers will help you to know just how far you can navigate in that conflict at that particular time. Well, that's all we have time for today. And on the next episode, we will discuss the 3 of the 5 smooth stones. As always, thank you again for joining me for another episode of Your Daily Truth with Dr. Ruth. If you like what you've heard, please make sure you like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and leave a comment on other social media platforms. Share with a friend, a neighbor, a coworker that can really utilize the information that has been taught here today. For more information or a free consultation, or if you just need counseling or coaching or someone to talk to, reach out to me at Dr. Ruth at drruthcharles.com. That's DRRUTH at DRRUTHCHARLES.com. If you want a community of like-minded people that you can join in with that would understand you and you can offer solutions to them, feel free to join our Leader Live Leadership Facebook group. Again, that's Leader Live Leadership Facebook group. I'm looking forward to being with you on another episode. Until then, have a blessed and wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.